Welcome everyone to the second round recap of the FIDE Grand Swiss 2025 in Samarkand, Uzbekistan. The tournament is in its early days, but we already have only a few handful players on 100% score. In the open section, we have only 3 players on 2 out of 2, while in the women's section, only 2 of them. In the open, we have Alireza Firouzja, Parham Maghsoodloo, and Anton Demchenko. While in the women's section, we have Vaishali and Olga Badelka. First, let's have a look at the game of Firouzja. He was playing with the black pieces and was under some pressure. You can see here, white has a lot of space in the center. But it needed only one small error from Maxim Rothstein. He played his rook to a4. And here, Firouzja broke in the center with pawn to c5, and that was all that was needed. After this, black took over, pawn takes pawn, then took the rook, bishop e8, hitting the rook on a4. The rook had to move back, knight came in, and then after b6, you already had b3 falling, and Alireza scored a resounding win here, moving on to 2 out of 2. The other game, which was very instructive and very exciting, was Parham Maghsoodloo taking on Anton David Guyaro. It was a very simple position that we had, but Parham showed his class here and showed why he is one of the most dangerous players when it comes to these open tournaments. Look at this position. It's middle game, queenless position. But look at this, bishop b6. A fantastic move, and after c5, trying to trade the bishops, he simply brings his bishop back, trying to reroute it to this diagonal. And then when opponent went really aggressive with g5, Parham had knight h5, threatening bishop d8, pawn to b3. He simply chopped off the pawn and now brought his bishop into the game. And okay, Anton Guyaro had this very nasty threat of knight a2 checkmate, but after rook d7, king d2, and just simply moving his king here, giving up an exchange, it was all over. In fact, in this position, Anton resigned. Look at this attack with the knight and the bishop. Fantastic chess by Parham Maghsoodloo. In fact, Parham and Alireza Firouzja are now going to take on each other in round number 3, what promises to be a mouth-watering encounter. The other player on 100% score is Anton Demchenko, and he played an absolutely crazy game against Sam Shankland. It was a Sicilian, and in this position, Sam sacrificed his exchange in a typical rook takes c3 sacrifice. It seemed like black's position was preferable, like when the attack was going through, but somehow it turned out that white also was very quick to attack. In fact, Anton Demchenko showed his class in more than one ways in this game. He played excellent chess, opening up the black's king. And in fact, there was one move which is particularly my favorite in this one, which is check, bishop g7, and now takes queen takes e6, rook f7. And it feels like black has broken through and will deliver a checkmate, but e5, blocking the bishop, and now it's all over because bishop takes is met with rook takes g5 here, and so he played queen e5 and then trade, and now white was winning here with an extra exchange. So that's how the things are. We have 3 players on 2 out of 2 in the open, but 30 players on 1.5 points. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. In the women's section, we had our Vaishali, who actually played exceedingly well against Eline Rubers, the Dutch number 1. Vaishali in this position, the defending champion. After f4 was played, she brought her knight back, and this is where she unleashed herself. She played the move f5, and after knight f5, Eline was hoping for knight takes f5, queen d5 check, picking up the bishop. But, well, you need to develop your pieces. Pawn to d5, opening up the bishop. Fantastic chess by Vaishali. And she managed to actually checkmate the white king in just 22 moves. Look at this. The king was all over the place and Aline resigned in this position. The other leader of the tournament is Olga Badelka. She took on Gal Soka, and in this position, here Gal had to play bishop d5, but she blundered with the move bishop f3, and this is all that Olga needed. She pushed her pawn to e4, attacking the bishop, but more importantly, after the bishop moved, there is a simple move for black that wins the game. Can you find it? Rook c6, a beautiful move, trapping the queen. The queen has nowhere to go, and with this, Olga managed to score her second win, moving to 2 out of 2. This is how the round was. We had some excellent games. Vaishali and Olga will play against each other in round number 3, and there are some fantastic battles that happened in the second round, but the tournament is laden with gems. You can check out these games and check out the entire broadcast and interviews on the FIDE YouTube channel. For now, this is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.